Hey guys, Chris from the Ultimate Recycler. Welcome back to the channel. We have some e-waste to deal with that came into the shop just yesterday. There's a box of old power tools and there's a army box you can see behind me that the guy said has a very old computer in it. Now, he opened the lid, there was some packaging, I saw a circuit board, so I don't know if it's just parts or if it's been dismantled. We're going to have a look, we're going to see what we can do with it. We'll go through the power tools as well, see how much we can get back on this load of e-waste that the guy was going to take to the tip. Hopefully we can save a lot of it. Hopefully we can make some money. Now the guy's cleaning out his father's estate and this stuff has been in the shed. He's got a lot more that he wants me to come and have a look at because he was just all set to take a lot of it to the tip, including, he said, some old metal boxes he was just going to send for scrap metal. That's a really cool solid army box. I think I saw a 1961 date on it, but they make great toolboxes. That one looks in good condition, way better than scrap metal. I'd probably get $20 or $30 for that box alone, but apparently it holds a really early computer, which I'm really looking forward to having a look at. We'll also duck into this tin. I think it actually has a Black & Decker drill from the 70s and a few fittings, and there's a box of random power tools here. I don't know if they work or even if they're all complete. The guy was just really happy when I said I'll take anything electrical rather than you throwing it out. So he said, "You have to come out to the shed and have a look before I clean it all up." And I said, absolutely, but let's deal with this lot first. Let's move this box off the bench just for now. We'll save the best till later. Hopefully it's the best. And we'll work through these quickly. We won't waste too much time. I just want to show you guys how I deal with this sort of stuff and what sort of return I can get for it. And if it is no good, we'll scrap it and see if we can get some scrap value. So this is a Black & Decker box. It obviously had fittings and things. The front is supposed to fold down, but I think the hinge is seized up. We have some sanding discs, pretty old ones. So that's actually unused. They're fairly coarse. This looks like a... Oh, is this a fitting, an accessory to go on the drill? I can't say I've seen one of these before. Looks like it's a little reciprocating saw. Maybe it mounts on the drill. There's a circular saw attachment. And here we have the classic oh, okay, this one's no good. Oh, the chuck's just missing. Maybe it is okay, but it doesn't look like it's in the best condition. These classic drills, I think these ones were made in Australia. Black & Decker, 1970s or so. These, you could almost not kill these. They were really good drills. This one possibly still goes, but I don't really think it's worth trying to fix up. What else do we have in here? Some jigsaw blades, mostly new ones. Yeah, there's been water in here too, so I think there's probably just mostly scrap metal in here. That's plastic. So yeah, there's not going to be any value there. Oh, they look like the soft jaws from one of those clamping vise things. I know they're only plastic, they're not rubber. And they're some feet off something. Okay, so there's not much value in there. There is the thingo that takes the sanding discs. That's a proper Black & Decker one. There's no chuck for the drill. I'm wondering if that one actually screws in there. Maybe it wasn't a drill in the first place. Maybe it was a sanding kit. That's the right thread. Alright, so maybe it's just been set up as a sander. So I guess we should test it. If it runs all right, we could probably sell it. But I'm not sure what these other bits were for. Looks like a handle of something, but I don't think it suits this. And there's a very rusty circular saw blade. That can only be scrap metal, that one. But I think we'll check the drill. We'll make sure it's safe. Well, I'm calling it a drill. We'll call it a sander. We'll make sure it's safe. And if it runs okay, well, I might just put all this stuff back in the box, except for the obvious scrap. And maybe just put $10 on it. I mean, someone will probably buy that just for the box. But it's much better than going it for scrap metal. And there's not a lot of scrap value in these drills. Electric motor really, and that's about it. So we'll check that one in a minute. Okay, I have cleaned out the box. It's actually not too bad, although the hinge has rusted quite solid and I couldn't free it up. I suspect the box was actually sitting in mud in the shed or something, and it's got quite rusty on that corner. Anyway, we have some sanding discs. I found a few more in there. I'm going to call this a drill again because it has got a chuck key. So it would have been a drill initially. I was going to test it and maybe sell it for $10 or something with the kit, but I noticed the cord's no good at the plug, so I can't put a safety tag on it. So I'm going to put an unsafe do not use tag on it, even though it quite possibly works. But I'm going to put that back in the box with all the sanding discs, a good metal box for just $10 a lot, and someone can just buy it and do whatever they like with it. It's quite possible you put a new cord on that and it's going to work fine, but I'm not going to muck around doing that. These bits I don't think are any good. I don't think they suit this kit at all. They're just plastic, so they're going to go in the bin. I will keep the jigsaw blades. That circular saw attachment, I don't think it suits the Black & Decker, and it's cast aluminium with a steel base. I'm not going to try and separate it because some of the parts are riveted on, so that's just going to go in the irony aluminium scrap bin. These are going in the shred bin. The handle and these jaw sort of protectors are going to go in the dollar box at the shop for the shed stuff. And this attachment, it's like for a jigsaw. I called it a reciprocating saw. Well, the blade does reciprocate, but if we get something like a flat blade into the end here and turn that little shaft, you can see our reciprocating saw works like a jigsaw. So it's an attachment for a drill. I'm going to put $5 on it at the shop. I don't know if anyone will buy it or not, but it's worth a try. If it doesn't sell, it can also go in the irony aluminium for scrap, but we'll give it a go first. So that deals with that. Not much value, but we've processed it and nothing really is going in the bin other than some bits of plastic. Okay, let's get into this tub and see what we've got. Well, we have someone's made up a fence for a circular saw perhaps. Don't think there's any value there. We have a Makita corded sander, so pretty good quality one. Let's get the cord out. The cord looks okay. That actually looks in pretty good condition, so we'll certainly give that a run. It's going to be an easy item to sell, I would think. And we have a cheaper Ozito angle grinder, but it's got a fitting on the end. What's going on here? The attachment says Arbortech. Now these, I think that's what they call, yeah, it's a power chisel. So it turns your angle grinder into a chisel, like it just, like a reciprocating saw, but very, very fast. And I have seen YouTube videos on guys carving with these. They're very good for carving. This must have been a kit that you can add to your own angle grinder because they do make a complete unit, and they're about $400, I think, last time I saw one. I don't know what these little kits are worth. The chisels are quite expensive, so I hope there's some chisels in here. But look, that should sell. It looks like it's done very little work, so we'll test that one out. Here we have a circular saw. It's an older model. I don't even know what that brand is. I don't recognize it at all. It's got an old blade on it. But we can test it and see if it works. It doesn't look damaged, but it's certainly an older model. Quite heavy actually, it's cast aluminium. And we have another circular saw in here. This one's quite heavy as well. Oh, it's lost the cover off the end. Full armature bearing construction. Oh, Ozito, so it's a cheaper brand, but it's an older one. So yeah, it's not really able to be sold without the cover, unless that's in the box. Oh, hang on. That looks like it. But a couple of screws missing. No, I don't think that is it. Oh, the brushes have come loose. Perhaps that one had a problem and someone tried to fix it. But, so the brushes are supposed to mount in there somewhere. The brushes have still got plenty of life on them, although they're quite badly chipped. But that one, oh, the screws are oh, that's broken out. That's what's happened. The screws are still there, and it's broken the end off. So it might have been dropped. That one's probably going to go in the scrap bin. It's not worth trying to fix. And also the cord has been cut and taped up. We have another couple of fences for circular saws and a metal piece. Here we have a Kango drill. Haven't heard of that one either. It's made in England, an English drill. Oh, okay, it isn't a drill. It doesn't have a standard chuck. Looks pretty rough though, that one. It looks like it's been knocked around a lot. So we'll check that one out, but I think that might end up in the scrap bin as well. And a little electric planer. It's a Makita, but it's quite an older one. It's the old colour scheme. But it looks okay. It doesn't look damaged. Oh, what's that plug off? That one's broken. That's off one of the units that we're probably going to scrap. So this one might be worth checking. It's lost a screw there. I wonder if that plate comes off this one. Does that suit that? No, I don't think so. So I guess we can plug that in and test it. The belt's still on, and the blades are often quite chipped on planers, but these ones look okay. Yeah, so that might be okay. We'll give that a test. We might be able to sell that, but it's going to quite an old model. And that looks like it's off that. I don't know what part. And that's all. Nothing else in the box. All right, I'll sort them out and we'll get back to you shortly. So I've sorted these now into what we can sell. There's only 3 items here that I think are worth trying to sell. I will test them in a tick. The 2 circular saws I'm just going to scrap, and I won't do it on camera. Perhaps we'll scrap them out in a separate video just to see how much value's in them. But from experience, there's a lot of mucking around to take them apart. But anyway, we'll do that. I might not get back to it or not. Let me know if you want to see a separate video on scrapping circular saws. This little drill thing, because it's got a broken plug and it's an older style, I think we'll just basically scrap that one too, but there won't be a video on that. We're just basically throwing the electric motor in a bucket and chopping the cord off. So we'll test these ones in the interests of entertainment. We'll test them on camera in case we have sparks and smoke and explosions. Always interesting. This one, as I said, looks near new. It's a cheaper brand, but it's got the good Arbortech fitting on it. It's double insulated. The cord was fine. Let's see if it actually runs. Sounds fine, and it actually smells like a new one. So I'm sure that will have a market. It's a shame there was no drill bits with it, but someone may well have drill bits and need another gearbox part for theirs, and they get a bonus cheap little angle grinder. So I might just put $20 on that for the sake of it not hanging around the shop too long. So I can tag that one. The next one is the Makita sander, which I think is the best unit in the box, and it appears to be in good condition. It's double insulated, and I have checked the cord, so that should be fine to go. Let's power it up. Yeah, that feels good. That feels so much better quality. It's got a little bit of a vibration there, but it feels much better quality than the cheaper sanders. They always feel like they're going to fall apart when you start them up. This one sounds good. Okay, so I reckon probably 25 on that, being a Makita. I can tag it as well, so it's been tested. It's safe there. And the last one's this electric planer. Now, this bracket does go with it, and I think there's one wing nut missing, and it's actually like a fence, I think, so that you can plane along a piece of timber. It gives you somewhere to run along the edge of, so that's just an accessory. I'm pretty sure that goes with it, but I can't quite work out where it goes. It doesn't matter, because it will work as it is. So again, I've checked the cord, and we can plug this one in and give it a test. And power up. That sounds good too. The Makita motors were certainly nice motors. Well, they still are. So the belt's okay on this one. The blades didn't show any chipping. So I reckon that's quite a useful little plane, and it's very light. So we might put, I don't know, will we get 20? Maybe not. It is missing the wing nut there. We might just put 10 on it and let it go quickly. Most people tend to go for your cordless ones now, because when you're planing a piece of timber, the cord dragging behind you is always a pain. But still, we should be able to sell this for 10. Okay, it's getting late, but I want to have a look at this computer. We'll continue this video tomorrow because I'll finish with the notepad. But let's see what's in this 1960s steel army box. that was described as an antique computer. All right, so the box is in really good condition. 1961, if I can work it out backwards. Now, there's foam packing, and this is about as far as I looked in the shop when the guy brought it in, and I saw a whole heap of chips on a circuit board, and I thought, okay, we'll take it. As if I wouldn't anyway. Right. Okay, it's in pieces, and I don't know what it is at this stage. This is the first time I've looked this deeply at it. So some of you computer guys may well recognise it. I don't know why it's in pieces. And I don't know if it's got any value. Are they speakers? I think they are. So a lot of chips. I can't see anything on the board that immediately tells me what make it is. Looks like there's been some, maybe it's a homemade one. Is that possible? So there's a card on the back. It's got more chips on it. But it's starting to look distinctly homemade. So it may not be very much value. Pretty cool though. What else is in? Is there anything else in the bottom of this? Or was all this packaging and box just for that one board? We have scrunched up paper. Oh yes, we have more stuff in here. What's in here? Cables. Alright, so various computer cables. Oops. And a little VHF box. Oh, whoop, I thought these were just packing, but there's chips here. These might be new chips. NEC. Yep, there's chips on all these bits of foam. I better be careful. I can't read any numbers just at the moment, but we'll get you a close-up. That chip is sitting in a socket. Hopefully there's no static issues with handling these. Looks like they're just pressed into foam. Alright, there's something else big in here. Oh, maybe a hard drive. Or a floppy drive. Yeah, it's a 5 1/4 floppy drive. So it certainly is quite vintage. I'd say 1980s. Sankyo. Okay, that one may have some value. And it looks like there's another one in here. Another one of the same, perhaps. Looks the same. So another 5 1/4 inch floppy drive. Alright, well, I don't know if I can test them, but they probably should have some value, I would imagine. The way they were packaged up, I would presume they're in working condition. Anything in the bottom? No, just some more packing foam. So, alright, there's our antique computer stuff. It certainly is quite old, but I don't know what this is. I don't know if I can even find out. You guys may recognise the board, but it's obviously out of its case. There's all your inputs in the back. Yeah, it's either homemade or it's been modified. Don't know. I think I'll post this video with this just as a big question mark, and I'll welcome any input. And I guess I'd welcome any offers if someone's keen. I have no way of testing it. Same with the floppy drives. I'd probably sell those just untested, but they do look in good condition. So, and if you need more information, well, put comments below and I can respond, or maybe start a thread on my Facebook group. That's the Ultimate Recycler, and we can I can supply some more pictures if you want. So that's what we'll do. We'll finish this up now. I can't possibly value this at the moment. I'll await your input. I'll get the notepad out and we'll just list our power tools that we've got. But this was pretty cool. And the Army box, I reckon I'm probably going to put $30 in the Army box as well. Okay, it's the next evening. I've packed up the power tools and the other stuff ready to go to the shop. I've done a bit of checking on some of this computer stuff. I can't find anything about the board though. The only number I could find on it was at the top here, and it says, if I get the reflection right there, it says 8312-2-08C, and I'm wondering if read backwards it might be the 2nd of the 12th, 83. I'm not sure, but I feel it's an early 80s computer, and I didn't notice until I was editing the first part of this video that it actually is 2 boards, and the second board is laden with chips as well. So it's a complete, I guess it's not just a motherboard, it's a complete board. There's no power supply though. Perhaps that was inputted from the back. Not sure, maybe that was a power supply input. And I don't know if you had a separate monitor or if it played through a CRT TV. I'm not sure. I'm totally out of my depth here. I did check some of the numbers of the chips there, and I found most of them through Google. They're readily available. They didn't seem to be very expensive, so I don't think we've got much value there. And I really can't be sure that these are new ones, so they may just end up in a jar for scrap IC chips, unless someone buys a computer off me and I'll send them with them. The drives, I found a few drives, 5 1/4 floppy drives online selling for around about the $50 mark, give or take 10 or 20 bucks. Some of them had multiple bids. Some of them were listed as not working or for parts or repair, and they were still getting pretty reasonable money. I couldn't find the exact model of what these are, and I think if I flick it over, I think the model is FDM-M53. I did not find any like that, but I found some similar, and they seem to sell well. So I've valued those at $50 each. I don't know. I reckon I'd put that on them in the shop. I've no idea what to put on the computer. We said 30 bucks on the Army box, and the other stuff was as mentioned. Let's run through it quickly. I did up the price of the Makita planer. Tested and tagged, we should get our 15 easy. The scrap, well, I just allowed $5. We did scrap out that English drill or impact driver or whatever it was. I haven't done the circular saws. We'll get to them another time. But I just allowed $5 for scrap. And yeah, there you go. So the rest of the prices there added up to $210. Not bad for an e-waste drop-off, and really not much time to process it all. And a bit of interest looking at this vintage computer stuff. It was cool. I love unboxing things that I don't really know what's inside. So thanks for watching, guys. I do love collecting e-waste and having it dropped off at the shop. I get all sorts of stuff, and I also get all the common stuff like boxes of kitchen appliances and, you know, fairly TVs and all sorts of average electronics. But I like it all. I like trying to fix some stuff, and even the stuff that isn't worth fixing, I often salvage parts. And then I get to scrap out a bit of stuff too. So it's quite profitable. I find enough unusual stuff or stuff of reasonable value to pump through eBay that I actually do quite well out of it. So there we go. An episode finished on just some e-waste dropped off at the shop. I can't wait to get out to this guy's shed and have a look. There might be some more videos in that. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you in the next one. Bye for now.